Alright, so I'm back with the second part of our orbit tutorial here. We're gonna be landing, of course. So I'm gonna aim to land around that archipelago, and this works the same way wherever you land. So don't like worry about your positioning. You could even land in the water, because the parachute will slow you down but you have to activate the parachute below a certain speed, and I'll show you do that right now. You can't just activate it right away, because if you do, it'll break and your ship will crash. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna point towards the retrograde vector. Remember, that's this vector. If you want to make it easier on yourself, and you can't remember, just tell it on here that you want it to tell the stability system right here by enabling the cursor that you want it to point towards retrograde, and it'll do it for you. The system will do it for you. When I bring control back to the ship, the SAS system automatically locks on that position. And then once you have retrograde locked onto, take control of the ship, throttle all the way up, let the SAS keep you locked, and let's get down. You want to throttle down until your trajectory shows that you're going to hit where exactly you want to land. However, you have to remember that with places like Kerbal, atmospheric resistance will change your landing destination. So you have to kind of push your trajectory. You have to kind of set your trajectory a little bit ahead of where you want to land. So in this case, it shows that we're going to land in the desert right here. Shows we're going to land around right here, but we're actually probably going to land like right here because of the atmospheric resistance. So keep that in mind when coming down over bodies with atmospheres. Let's take control of the ship again. We're going to let the ship do the work, pointing towards retrograde here. And we're going to exit the map view here. And we're going to watch him come down. Still, of course, don't have control of the ship right now. We just have control of the cursor. So, let's time warp until we get down, though. There we go. So, there we are. Once you hit 69 kilometers, it enables something called physics warp. In atmospheres or below a certain altitude, you can only on bodies with atmospheres, you can only use a 4 times physical warp. You can't use full-on time warp. Bodies without atmospheres, time warp progressively, you can only use a certain amounts of time warp as you get closer and closer, but you can still use regular time warp no matter what altitude you're at. And on bodies with atmospheres, while you're moving, you can't actually enable full-on time warp. However, if you're on the ground and completely still, not moving at all, you can still use full time warp. You can see the atmosphere is dragging our vehicle around. Gonna mitigate that by separating the stage right now. Taking control of the ship and separating the stage. That'll bring us right back on course, because that last stage is causing too much drag. When you have space planes, your wings will keep you oriented, but when you have rockets with small winglets like that, they just won't do the trick. Coming in pretty fast. I'm actually going to start slowing down with the engine now. I'm going to activate the engine and use it to slow down. Make sure you leave a little bit of fuel when you're doing this, because you need to slow down this little bit. Otherwise, you will crash and die. Because remember, you need to be going below, I think it's 290 meters per second to deploy your parachute. If you deploy it when you're going any faster than that, it'll get destroyed by aerodynamic forces. It didn't used to be this way, but it is now. So you gotta make sure you have slow down engines ready to go when you enter the atmosphere again. Or you're ready to slow down in some way other than with the parachute itself, because the parachute will get torn apart if you don't. We're still 28 kilometers up, but we're still going really fast. So I'm just going to keep that engine on, let it burn. You shouldn't need to do it this much, but I'm doing it this much just in case. The natural atmospheric drag should slow you down a lot as well. This engine is also really efficient, so I wouldn't even worry about it. You have to carry this extra fuel nowadays because the parachutes can't activate like they used to. I'm just gonna actually burn all of the fuel because it helps. Alright, now as you can see, we are below the target speed for what we need to be to deploy the parachute, so I'm going to separate and quickly deploy the parachute. There. Now it won't get destroyed by aerodynamic force. We're also going to turn off the SAS by pressing circle and let the parachute guide us down to a safe landing. Just gonna take a drink of water here. I'm parched. Oh, that's good stuff. There goes our mid stage. And when you get below a certain altitude, the parachute will open up automatically for you. It'll open up like this because it'll be in a semi-open state when you deploy it, but it'll open up like this when you get close enough to the ground. And it'll slow you down automatically. 5 meters per second, like we are right now, sitting at around 5.6 meters per second. That's a perfect landing speed. This command pod will be completely fine. Bob will be completely fine. And we can hit recover vessel when we get close enough to the ground here. When we get on the ground, we can hit recover vessel to bring him back to the space center, and we'll be good to go for another mission. We'll be getting into the more advanced things later on. But right now, I just want to focus on the basics of everything. Teach you how to actually fly the spaceships and properly build them. And so the next video that I'm gonna make, I think, which will be tomorrow, because I want to do some actual stuff for my KSP career, you could say, I want to do stuff for my actual playthrough that I was gonna do outside of this tutorial series. So this will be the last of the videos for tonight, but tomorrow I'm gonna record a video about going over all the stuff you can do in the vehicle assembly building. When we get into building planes, I'll do one about the space plane hangar. But for now, I'm gonna show off all the functions of the vehicle assembly building, all the things you can do, what all the parts do. I'm gonna show the whole works tomorrow. So as a final note, let me know if you want me to record stuff that I do in my normal career, or in my normal playthrough of this game, stuff that I'm doing in my game, or if you just want me to record this tutorial series, focus on this tutorial series, because I can do both at the same time, you know, it's not a big deal. Just let me know. Anyway, now you're gonna hit recover vessel. It'll bring you back to the space center, and you're done. Bob is safe. He's all good to go for the next mission. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Keep up to date on this tutorial series. I'm gonna be constantly uploading videos to teach people how to play, because that's what I like to do. I like to teach people how to play this game, because after all, it is probably one of my favorite games, and I want everyone else to experience its glory. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Keep an eye on it. Insane Aerospace Engineer, signing off.